Today we're talking about Saskatchewan's immigration programs, which offer unique streams to attract skilled workers, entrepreneurs, and students. We'll touch on what makes Saskatchewan's Immigration Nominee Program different from other provincial programs and how you can transition from work permit to permanent residency. This video will give you a sneak peek into the process, common challenges, and tips to adapting to life in Saskatchewan. If you're thinking of a move in Saskatchewan, send me an email. My info is in the description below. Saskatchewan's located in the central part of Canada, bordering Alberta Province, Manitoba Province, the Northwest Territories, and the United States border. Saskatchewan is known for its vast prairies, numerous lakes, and forests, and is often referred to as the breadbasket of Canada. We are a leading producer here in wheat, canola, and other grains in the agricultural sector, and we have very rich natural resources as well in potash, uranium, and oil. The cost of living in Saskatchewan is among the most affordable in all of Canada, which is another reason why Saskatchewan is such an attractive place to move to. The quality of life is very high. We have excellent healthcare, education, and recreational activities. It is a very friendly community and a very multicultural community here in Saskatchewan. And we have numerous events and festivals celebrating our diverse population. The Saskatchewan Immigration Nominee Program is a provincial program that allows Saskatchewan to nominate individuals for permanent residence here in Canada. It is designed to attract skilled workers, entrepreneurs, and students who can contribute to the province's economy and community. Through this program, the province can select candidates who have the skills and experience needed in Saskatchewan's labor market and who have a genuine interest and intent to settle here in the province. While all provincial nominee programs here in Canada are designed to attract skilled immigrants to their respective provinces, in Saskatchewan, our unique streams are tailored to our province's specific economic needs. These include International Skilled Worker category, the Saskatchewan Experience category, and the Entrepreneur and Farm category. Saskatchewan Immigration Nominee Program, also known as SINP, uses a unique point system to evaluate candidates based on factors like work experience, education, language ability, and connections to the province. The system is tailored to prioritize candidates who are most likely to succeed in Saskatchewan. The SINP, Entrepreneur, and Farm categories are specifically designed to attract business people and farmers who can invest and contribute to the province's economy. International Skilled Worker category. It has three main streams. Employment offer. Candidates must have a valid job offer from a Saskatchewan employer in an eligible occupation. The job offer must be for a permanent full-time position. Key documents required are a detailed job letter from the employer, including job title, duties, salary, and terms of employment. Proof of previous work experience. You will need employment letters or contracts showing relevant work experience, as well as any education, diplomas, degrees, certificates that match your job requirements. Language proficiency is also required. You need to show results from an approved language test, including the IELTS or CELPIP, demonstrating proficiency in either English or French. Occupation in demand. For this category, candidates must have experience in an occupation that is in demand currently in Saskatchewan. The list of in-demand occupations is updated regularly based on labor market needs. No job offer is required for this stream. Necessary documents are the Educational Credential Assessment, or ECA, assessment of foreign educational credentials. This is designed to ensure that any educational credentials are equivalent to Canadian standards. Proof of work experience, a letter from a previous employer detailing job duties, duration of employment, and skills, as well as, of course, your language proficiency. Express entry. This is in connection with the federal express entry system. Candidates must have an active profile with the federal express entry system, which manages applications for permanent residence through three federal programs: Federal Skilled Worker Program, Federal Skilled Trades Program, and Canadian Experience Class. Candidates need to meet the criteria of one of those federal programs and express interest in living in Saskatchewan. Additional requirements are an express entry profile number, job seeker validation code, and SINP points assessment. Saskatchewan Experience category. This category is for individuals who are already living and working in Saskatchewan on a valid work permit. It includes several subcategories tailored to different types of workers. Canadians must be working in Saskatchewan on a valid work permit for at least 6 months. And the job must be in an eligible occupation. Health professionals, which is targeted at physicians, nurses, and other health professionals. Candidates must be working in Saskatchewan in a qualifying health profession. They must have a job offer from a Saskatchewan health authority or healthcare employer. Documents required would be licensing proof, work experience in Saskatchewan, and a job offer. Hospitality sector project. For employees working in hospitality sector jobs, candidates must have at least 6 months of work experience in Saskatchewan in one of the following roles: food and beverage server, food counter attendant or kitchen helper, or housekeeping and cleaning staff. Must have a job offer from an eligible employer in Saskatchewan. Long haul truck driver project. Specific to long haul truck drivers, candidates must have at least 6 months of work experience working for a Saskatchewan trucking company on a temporary foreign work permit. Must hold a valid Saskatchewan Class 1A driver's license. Candidates must have graduated from a recognized post-secondary institution in Saskatchewan. Criteria would include a job offer in the field of study, a permanent full-time job offer related to the field of study, a valid post-graduation work permit, and work experience. Documentation of at least 6 months of work experience in Saskatchewan. The application process for SINP involves several key steps. Step 1, expression of interest, or EOI. Create an EOI profile online through the SINP online application system. Provide personal details such as name, contact information, and nationality. Enter details of your educational requirements. Document your work history, including job titles, duties, duration of employment. Include your language test results with the IELTS or CELPIP, and provide any information on connections you have to Saskatchewan, such as family ties, previous visits, or job offers. Points assessment grid and minimum score requirement. Scoring criteria. The SINP points assessment grid evaluates candidates based on factors such as education, work experience, language ability, age, and connections to Saskatchewan. A minimum score of 60 out of 100 points is required to be eligible to submit in EOI. Step 2, receiving an invitation to apply, or an ITA. How and when ITAs are issued. The SINP conducts regular selection rounds where candidates with the highest scores in the EOI pool are invited to apply. If you are selected, you will receive an invitation to apply via email and your SINP online account. After receiving an invitation to apply, gather all required documents for your application as specified in the ITA, and make sure that you submit and complete your application within 60 days of receiving your invitation to apply. Step 3, submitting the application. Here is your detailed documentation checklist. Identity documents, any passports, birth certificates, and other identification. Your education, so diplomas, degrees, certificates, and educational credential assessments. Work experience, so your letters from previous employers, employment contracts, and pay stubs. Language proficiency exam results. Proof of funds, so bank statements or other financial documents showing you can support yourself and your family once you get here. Additional documents include police clearance certificates, medical exams, and any other documents specified in the ITA. Make sure that you pay the required fee, which is non-refundable, and fees may vary based on the specific stream and number of applicants. Once your application is submitted, it goes through several stages before a decision is made. Application review, the processing times and what to expect. Initial screening, your application must first be reviewed for completeness and eligibility. Immigration officers then conduct a detailed review of your documents and qualifications. Processing times can vary, but the SINP aims to process most applications within 6 months, which is among the fastest in all of Canada. You can check the status of your application through your SINP online account. If your application is successful, you'll receive a provincial nomination certificate from SINP. If your application is refused, you will be informed of the reasons why. You may have the option to appeal the decision or reapply in the future. Next steps after receiving a provincial nomination. Permanent residence application. Use your provincial nomination to apply for permanent residence through the Federal Express Entry System or directly to Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada, the IRCC. Follow the instructions provided by SINP and IRCC to complete and submit your permanent residence application. Federal processing times may vary, so check the IRCC website for the latest information and ensure to continue to meet the conditions of your nomination while your federal application is being processed. Work permits and transition to permanent residency. A work permit is essential for working legally in Canada. There are two primary types of work permits relevant to SINP applicants. There is the employer-specific work permit. You need a valid job offer from a Canadian employer. This offer must meet the conditions outlined in SINP. Labor Market Impact Assessment, LMIA. In most cases, the employer must obtain a positive LMIA from Employment and Social Development Canada, ESDC. The LMIA confirms that hiring a foreign worker will not negatively impact the Canadian labor market. Submit your work permit application either online or at a visa application center. Ensure all required documents are included. Depending on your nationality, you may need to provide biometrics, which is your fingerprints and photo, as a part of the application process. Then you have your open work permit. Open work permits are generally available to specific groups such as spouses of skilled workers, international students who have graduated from Canadian institutions, and individuals with a bridging open work permit. You can apply online or through a paper application. The online process, however, is faster and allows for easier tracking. The required documents typically include proof of relationship for spouses, proof of graduation for students, and the Provincial Nomination Certificate for BOWP, or Bridging Open Work Permit. Once you have a work permit and SINP nomination, you can transition to permanent residency. Here are the steps and key documents involved. If you already have an express entry profile, update it with your Saskatchewan Immigration Nominee Certificate. If not, create a new profile. With the SINP nomination, you will receive an additional 600 points toward your comprehensive ranking system CRS score, virtually guaranteeing an ITA in the next draw. After receiving the ITA, complete and submit your application for permanent residency through the IRCC online portal. This must be done within 60 days of receiving your ITA. Ensure all supporting documents are prepared and uploaded with your application. The key documents would include your nomination certificate, which is provided by SINP. This certificate is crucial for your federal application. Proof of funds, bank statements, or other financial documents demonstrating you have sufficient funds to support yourself and your family once you get here. Medical examinations by a panel physician approved by the IRCC to ensure that you meet health requirements. Police clearance certificates, criminal background checks from all countries where you have lived for 6 months or longer since the age of 18. And here are some tips for a successful application. Use official checklists from SINP and IRCC to ensure that you have all required documents. Verify that all personal information is consistent across all documents. Example, names, dates of birth, etc. Ensure all non-English or non-French documents are translated by a certified translator. Where required, provide certified copies of original documents. Ensure bank statements are recent and meet the minimum required amount. Include letters from financial institutions if necessary. Detailed letters from employers should outline job duties, salary, and duration of employment. Ensure they are signed and on company letterhead. Include diplomas, transcripts, and educational credential assessments, ECAs. Ensure all documents are legible and certified if necessary. Obtain certificates from all countries where you've lived for 6 months or more since the age of 18. Start this process early for your police clearance certificates, as it can take time. Schedule your medical exam with an IRCC approved panel physician to ensure the results are submitted promptly. Professional advice. There are benefits of consulting with an immigration consultant or a lawyer. Professionals can provide tailored advice based on your specific situation and the latest immigration policies. They help reduce errors, create an efficient process, and can support you and represent you from start to finish. Make sure that you check their credentials, their experience, their reputation, and that they are transparent on their fee structures. Choose an advisor who communicates clearly, is responsive to your queries, and keeps you informed throughout the process. Make sure throughout the process that you renew your work permits and legal documents on time. Start the renewal process well in advance of your permit's expiration date. This avoids gaps in your legal status. Some of the common reasons for rejection are incomplete applications, ineligible occupations, insufficient funds, inaccurate information, language proficiency, or work experience. If you make sure to thoroughly prepare, research the occupations, have your proof of funds available, be honest and accurate, improve your language skills, and create detailed documentation records, you will dramatically improve your chances for success. When you are settling into Saskatchewan, start by finding temporary accommodation before committing to a long-term rental or purchase. Get involved in local community events and organizations to build a support network. Learn about local customs, traditions, and social norms to ease the transition. Register for Saskatchewan health coverage and find local healthcare providers. If you have children, research and enroll them in local schools. Explore opportunities for further education or training for yourself. Utilize newcomer settlement services offered by organizations like the Saskatchewan Association of Immigrant Settlement and Integration Agencies. Take advantage of language training programs to improve your English or French proficiency. Access job search assistance, resume building workshops, and employment counseling. Seek advice on managing finances, opening bank accounts, and understanding the Canadian tax system. And join immigrant support groups, cultural associations, and community centers. For more information on resources, see the description below. Otherwise, hope you found some value today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Have a wonderful, fantastic day, and I will see you on this video next.